and Administration in Nigeria and Related Matters, HB 1041, for consolidation. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Amburuna.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, distinguished colleagues. I rise up to second the motion for the consolidation of the bills, ably moved by my chairman, Rules and Business, Mr. Francis. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Chair, please endeavor to schedule a date for commencement of debate on these bills. The third order of the day the second order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply Management of Nigeria, Act 2007, to be in tandem with what obtains in the procurement professional practice across the globe and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Sani Aliyu Madaki. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 27 July 2023. I now invite Honorable Ali Madaki to move that the bill be read a second time.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, my name is Aliyu Sani Madaki, and I represent the Ala Federal Constituency of Kano State. Mr. Speaker, this bill is a straightforward bill, a bill for an act to amend the Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply Management Act 2000. I thought I would read the title, then see. That's what I'm doing. Act 2007 to be in tandem with what obtains in the procurement professional practice across the globe and for other related matters. HB 346 be read the second time. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Shetima.
Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I remain Lawan Shetima Ali, representing the good people of Bursari, Gaidam Municipal Constituency. I rise to second the motion ably moved by the leader. I so second, sir.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Ali, please proceed with your debate.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues. This bill is a straightforward bill, Mr. Speaker. What this bill seeks to do is simply to amend the name from purchasing and supply to procurement and supply, which is in line with what is obtainable everywhere in the world. In the Principal Act, if we go through it, everywhere it is written purchasing and supply. This bill seeks to change it to procurement and supply, for the simple reason being that everything has now become professionalized. I could recall, if I can give an example, Mr. Speaker, when I was working as a public servant, if you see somebody working in purchasing and supply, other colleagues consider that person in Nigerian language to be a chua man. But now it has evolved. It's called everywhere procurement and supply. And it's a field of professionalism. It's a field of study. And Nigeria...
Honorable Chigari, please approach the chair. Honorable Chigari.
Nigeria should not be left behind. And the federal government has done very well by making sure that in our secondary schools now, not only in universities, we are teaching procurement and supply. So all I seek to do with this bill is to change it to the world best practice, what is obtainable everywhere. In Nigeria, some places now call it procurement and supply, which is the right thing. But some still call it purchasing and supply, which we have left many, many years ago. So this bill simply seeks to change from purchasing and supply to procurement and supply, which is what is obtainable everywhere in the world. So I seek the support of my honorable colleagues for the second reading of this bill. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Any seconder? Yes, Honorable, please go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Abdullahi Rashid, member representing the Kunafada Federal Constituency from Gombe State. I rise to second a motion that Bill HB 346 be read the second time. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act amend the Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply Management of Nigeria Act 2007 to be in tandem with what obtains in procurement professional practice across the globe and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Public Procurement for further legislative actions. Honorable colleagues, the third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, by changing the system of simple majority of electing the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and state governors, where there are more than 2 candidates, to ensure the winner scores more than half of the total vote cast, and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Awaji Inombek D. Abiente. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 19th October 2023. I now invite Honorable Abiente to move that the bill be read a second time.
Order, order in the House.
Honorable
Order, please.
Sadisoli, please can you approach the chair?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. My very dear distinguished colleagues, I remain Awaji Nombeg Dagomie Abiante. I represent Andoni Opobo Nkoro Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, my colleagues. I rise to move that a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 by changing the system of simple majority of electing the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and state governors, where there are more than 2 candidates, to ensure the winner scores more than half of the total votes cast, and for related matters. House Bill 683 be read a second time.
Any seconder? Yes, Honorable, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Mudashiru Lukman, representing the good people of Iwo Ayedire Federal Constituency. I'm from Osun State. I rise this morning to second the bill, motion for a bill HB 683 to be read for second term. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion, any contribution? Okay, please go ahead.
I actually want to walk and speak against the bill if I'm allowed to do that. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues.
I think I should have the privilege to lead the debate before any other person will speak to it. Thank you very much, Mr.
So
Speaker.
let's get this somebody to second, and then when he
He just did.
He has done
yes,
so,
he has
right?
done, yes, he has seconded.
So we put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay.
Mr. Speaker, I should lead my debate, and you now open it up for those that will speak against before the final vote. Procedurally, sir.
I will put the question again. Honorable colleagues.
That's the procedure. I should lead my debate.
I will put the question again.
That's the procedure.
Those in support of this
I
motion,
should
she
lead my
say
debate
aye.
first. That's the procedure.
Those against, she say
I should
nay.
lead my debate.
The nays have it. Order, please. Order, order, order.
Order, order, order in the house. Order, please.
The fourth order of the day is the commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the National Residency Training Act 2018 to establish National Residency Training Board for the Federation and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Adedayo Samuel Adesola. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 16 November 2023. I now invite Honorable Adedayo to move that the bill be read a second time. Honorable Adedayo.
All right, Honorable Speaker. My name is Dr. Adeshola Adedayo. I represent the good people of Apapa. I'm from the cosmopolitan state of Lagos. I rise this morning, my Right Honorable Speaker, the Agba King of the Kingdom in Ekiti State, who is a ranking warrior of that kingdom, and my honorable colleagues this morning to speak to the bill for an act to amend the National Residency Training Act of 2018 to establish a National Residency Training Board for the Federation and for other related matters. I urge my colleagues to support this motion because it is important for the training of our resident doctors in this country. Thank you very much. Thank you. I so move.
Any seconder? I have not seen Labour people these days when they should be more active. No Labour man at all. Honorable Joe, what's happening? Please salvage them.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, Labour man is here. I am Honorable Engineer Idu Emeka. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion.
Order, please. Order, order.
By my colleague. I hereby second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable, please proceed with your debate.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And my colleagues, and my honorable colleagues. I rise this morning, Mr. Speaker and colleagues, to permit me to lead the debate on the general principles of this very important bill before us today. The bill was read for the first time in this hallowed chamber on Tuesday, 24th of October, 2023. This bill seeks to amend the Medical Residency Training Act 2018 by inserting a new section to provide for the establishment of a national residency training board for the Federation and for other matters. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, this bill carefully outlines the structure, powers, and composition of the board, which is empowered to pursue the objectives below. Number one, provide oversight over all residency training posts accredited by the postgraduate colleges. Two, be responsible for the salaries of all resident doctors, whether in the public or private hospitals, which shall be transferred to the recipient hospitals on a quarterly basis. Notwithstanding this function, the remuneration for all call duties shall be the responsibility of the institutions/hospitals. Three, managing the contracts of all entrants into the residency training program. Four, regulating the contracts of residents and investigating and, where possible, settling any dispute on other matters arising out of a contract between a resident and an employer that may be referred to the board. Five, do
Order, please. Honorable Sada, please. Despite people who are distracting you, and I'm sure you are very particular about this particular bill.
Five, do all such other things as are required for the effective implementation of its functions under this bill. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the rate at which resident doctors are leaving Nigeria in pursuit of greener pastures is very alarming. Investigations into factors responsible for such brain drain reveals that, aside from insecurity, which is prevalent in some parts of the country, poor and irregular remunerations accounts for over 90% of the reasons why they left and continue to live. It has therefore become unavoidably necessary to establish a board that will have the responsibility to ensure that resident doctors are treated appropriately and have the assurance of effective and timely remunerations, coupled with a less rancorous work environment. Finally, Mr. Speaker and my colleagues, this bill is a very straightforward piece of legislation that seeks to curtail the rising trend in the loss of our best brains in the medical field to foreign nations due to reasons that are preventable. I therefore appeal for your overwhelming support that the bill be read for the second time and refer to the relevant committee of the House for further legislative action. Thank you very much, my colleagues.
Is there anyone who is against? I'm sure everyone is in support. Abi? We are all in support? So let's put the question. Amendment. You know, you know, the beauty about second reading is that you have all the opportunities to make whatever amendments you want to do at the level of public hearing. That's why I specifically say if there are people who are against, if you are in support, you just want to amend, please, let's wait for the right time to do so. You can do that during the public hearing. But if you are against, you are at liberty to rise up and speak against the bill. Are you going to speak against the bill? Please go ahead. Sorry, please, sorry. Let's get a seconder first, and then we give you the floor, okay? Any seconder? Honorable David?
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I remain Ogel David Agada, member representing Oju, Obifera constituency. I'm from Benue State. I rise this afternoon to second the motion as moved on a bill for an act to amend the National Resident Training Act 2018 to establish National Resident Training Board for the Federation and for related matters, HB 725. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable, please, you have already led the debate, right? Any opposition? None? Please, but we have already passed it now. I think I was distracted by the clerk on this issue. I should have given you the opportunity to speak before we put the question. So sorry, please. But I would want to urge you, if you have any reservation on this bill, please avail yourself the opportunity of the public hearing so that you can make your voice heard. Thank you. The fifth order of the day, sorry, this, clerk, please go ahead and read the long title.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the National Residency Training Act 2018 to establish National Residency Training Board for the Federation and for related matters, second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Health Services for further legislative action. The fifth order of the day is the commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act, CAP B3, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to mandate banks and other financial institutions in Nigeria to state in writing all charges and fees accruing to any transaction in the bank and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Aliyu Bopemiso. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 7th November 2023. I now invite Honorable Misau to move that the bill be read a second time.
Mr. Speaker, sir, my honorable colleagues, my name is Aliyu Bapa Misau, FCNA. I stand before this honorable house to seek for your approval for a bill of an act to amend the Bank and Other Financial Institutions Act, CAF B3, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to mandate banks and other financial institutions in Nigeria to set in writing all charges and fees accruing to any transaction.
Order, please, order.
To any transaction in the bank.
Honorable Bill, please find your seat.
And for related matters, HB 854, which was read for the first time on 7th November 2003. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Any seconder to this motion? Yes, Honorable, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable members, my name is Honorable Mohammed Dang Abbashehu, member representing Zaki Federal Constituency. I am from Bauchi State. Mr. Speaker, I stand to second the motion heavily moved by Bapa Aliyu. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Misau, please proceed with your debate.
My colleagues, the bill is of an act to amend the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act, CAF B3, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the bill is seek to amend the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act to mandate banks and other financial institutions to state in writing all charges and fees accruing to any transaction in the bank and for other related matters. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, let me share with you the background of this laudable legislative proposal. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable colleagues, In today's fast-paced financial landscape, where transactions are conducted electronically and financial products are becoming increasingly complex, it is imperative that customers have full visibility and understanding of charges and fees associated with their transactions. Many customers often find themselves in a quagmire where they are unaware of the various hidden charges that are deducted from their accounts, leading to confusion, frustrations, and distrust in the banking system. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, mandating banks and financial institutions to provide a clear breakdown of all charges and fees in writing will empower the customers to make informed decisions about their financial transactions. This transparency will not only enhance trust between the financial institutions and their customers, but also promote financial literacy and responsible financial behavior among the population. Furthermore, this amendment aligned with global best practices in financial regulations and customers protection. Countries around the world have recognized the importance of transparency in financial transactions and have implemented similar regulations to safeguard the interests of customers. Nigeria, as a growing economy and a member of the global financial community, must also uphold this standard to ensure the integrity and stability of the financial sector. Mr. Speaker, the objective of the bill the objective of amending this bill is to seek the bank and other financial to provide explicitly state in writing charges and fees accruing in this transaction. Mr. Speaker, sir, every bank should provide for intending customers a document in a clear language containing the following: all services offered by the bank, detailed terms and conditions of the services, all fees, rates and deductions on the services, time and duration of such payments, provided that the provision of this act are not in contravention of any existing laws and regulations to this effect. Every bank shall send to the existing customer a written notification of any change in terms of conditions contained in the document in subsection 1. Any bank in breach of this provision or section is guilty of an offense to a liable to a fine of not exceeding 50,000 per each customer, and for every day during the offense continues. Summary of the bill, Mr. Speaker. The bill seeks to amend the Principal Act of the Bank and Other Financial Institution Act, Cap B3 of the Federation 2004, and may be cited as the Bank and Other Financial Institution Amendment Bill 2024. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, this bill seeks to amend the Banks and Other Financial Institution Act, Cap B3 of the Federation of 2004, and to mandate banks and other financial institutions to state in writing all charges and fees accruing to any transaction in the bank and have same given to intending customers before the commencement of the transaction. Let us stand together in promoting transparency, accountability, and customers' protection in the Nigerian financial system. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Order, order, please.
Any seconder? Yes, Honorable Anka.
My name is Isa Muhammad Anka, representing Anka Talata Mafara constituency. I'm from Zamfara State. I rise here to second the motion heavily moved by my colleague, Honorable Misau. I so second. Thank you very much.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act, Cap B3 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to mandate banks and other financial institutions in Nigeria to state in writing all charges and fees accruing to any transaction in the bank and for related matters. Second reading.
Honorable Deacon, please sit down. This bill is referred to the Committees on Banking and Other Ancillary Institutions and the Committee on Regulatory Banking for further legislative actions. The sixth order of the day is a motion on the need to investigate the alleged unremitted $1.8 trillion and $342 million tax revenues owed the Federation by Multi-Choice Group, standing in the name of Honorable Said Abdullahi. Honorable Said is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Said Musa Abdullahi. I represent the people of Bida, Kokacha Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Niger State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move the motion on the urgent need to investigate the alleged unremitted 1.8 trillion naira and $342 million tax revenues owed the Federation by Multi-Choice Group. The House...
Order, please.
The House notes that the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, was
Order,
established
please.
in
Order,
2007 as one of the revenue collection agencies and is expected to collect revenues on behalf of the Federation and remit them to the government treasury. Also notes that the oversight functions of the National Assembly, as provided in Section 88 and 89 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, are to enable the legislature to carry out investigation within its legislative competence to prevent and expose corruption, inefficiency, or waste in the execution or administration of laws. Aware that Multi-Choice, a prominent multinational corporation operating in Nigeria, has been accused of non-remittance of tax revenues due to the Federation, as evidenced by the suppression of information discovered from the submissions. Also aware that Nigerian economy is currently facing significant challenges, with dwindling revenues posing a threat to the overall fiscal stability and development of the country. Cognizant that the Federal Inland Revenue Service had engaged a consultant in 2021 under a whistleblowing contract to carry out an audit of the tax obligations of Multi-Choice Nigeria and Multi-Choice Africa with a view to ascertaining the company's tax indebtedness to the country, their findings led to a back audit and investigation carried out by the FIRS from 2011 to 2020. Also cognizant of the previous attempt by FIRS to recover the unpaid taxes through legal means, including court proceedings and the subsequent resolution to settle out of the court by both parties, has not yielded the desired result. Observes that the system's audit and investigation revealed enormous indebtedness to the tune of over 1.8 trillion naira in back total taxes for Multi-Choice Nigeria and $342 million in value-added tax for Multi-Choice Africa that had never been paid, that had never paid any taxes since they started business operation in Nigeria. Both amounts were levied upon the Multi-Choice Group by the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Concerned that there are ongoing arrangements to sell Multi-Choice Nigeria and other Multi-Choice Group subsidiaries in Nigeria to a foreign interest, while tax indebtedness is outstanding. Worried that if urgent actions are not taken to recover the tax revenues from the Multi-Choice Group, Nigeria may lose huge revenue that can inject life into the economy. Acknowledges the responsibility of the House to uphold the principles of transparency, accountability, and the rule of law in matters pertaining to public finance and taxation. Further cognizant of the need to thoroughly investigate the non-remittance of tax revenues by Multi-Choice to the Federation, to ascertain the veracity of the allegations and take appropriate action to safeguard the interests of the Nigerians. The House therefore resolves to caution the potential buyers of Multi-Choice Nigeria, Multi-Choice Africa, or any other subsidiaries of the Multi-Choice Group operating in Nigeria to be aware of the alleged outstanding indebtedness which may have been covered in their papers, and mandate the Committee on Finance to investigate the non-remittance of tax revenues by Multi-Choice to the Federation with focus on the suppression of information discovered from their submissions in their home country, and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Dixon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Dixon, Taki OON. I rise to support the motion as moved by my colleague from Niger State. I so second.
Amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Inua.
Mr. Speaker, my fellow colleagues, I am Right Honorable Ino Garba, member representing Yamatu Deba Federal Constituency from Gombe State. Mr. Speaker, while I commend the mover of this motion, I equally want to urge the House to allow me to add a motion, to add a prayer on the list of the prayers, to make an additional prayer on this motion, sir. Not only the non-remittance of multi-choice is the problem in Nigeria, you can see it amount to almost 1.8 trillion. Looking at the economic situation of Nigeria, that is alarming.
Can you amend? You want to amend the prayer?
I want to add.
Add.
On the prayer.
Additional prayer.
Additional prayer, sir.
Okay, please go ahead.
That the House Standing Committee on Communication should form part of this committee's investigation and to equally investigate why is multi-choice through the STB subscription, they are not charging Nigerians as pay as you go. You can subscribe DSTV, if you don't use it, it just go like that without even usage. So I want this House Committee on Communication to be part of this investigation as prayer number 3, and to equally investigate why is DSTV of multi-choice is not charging pay as you go to Nigerians.
Any seconder to this additional prayer? Yes, Orobu, go ahead. Majigiri, go ahead, please.
Your Excellency, Right Honorable Speaker, my dear respected colleagues, my name is Salisu Yusuf Majigiri. I represent Mashidusi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Katsina State. I rise to second the amendment proposed by the former presiding officer of Gombe State House of Assembly. I do second the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this amendment should say aye. Those against should say nay.
Amendment.
The ayes have it.
Amendment, sir.
Another amendment?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I remain Fataba Olushola. I represent the good people of Ado Ekiti, Irepodu Ifelodu Federal Constituency. I'm from Ekiti State. Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable
Order,
colleagues.
please. Order, please. Order.
I rise to amend this wonderful motion by my honorable colleagues. My amendment to the prayer is, that's the second prayer, is to mandate the Committee on Finance and Information and National Orientation to investigate this particular motion, sir, because national information and national orientation is the committee overseeing the National Broadcasting Commission, which is in charge of DSTV. And the DSTV, with the information at our disposal, is still standing.
I think you have made your point, my honorable brother. Any seconder to this additional amendment? Honorable Weke.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, my dear colleagues. My name is Mweke Felix. I rise to second this motion, this amendment moved by my chairman. I so second.
Those in support of this amendment should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it.
For the amendment. For the amendment.
The last one, Honorable Anka.
We'll delete those ones.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My amendment also relates to an additional committee issue relating to this tax revenue I think we should include Ministry of Justice. It is very, very important, sir. I so amend. Thank you very much.
Where are we? Has it been, it was an amendment move, right?
Yes, sir.
So any seconder to the amendment? Honorable Kama.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Kama and Kem Kama is my name. I represent the Awesome People of Hausa, Onitsha, and Ivo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion as amended that the House Committee on Justice should be added. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this amendment should say aye.
Aye.
Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Those in support of this motion as amended should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Eh? What? No, it's okay, please. We have taken enough. We have taken enough. So this motion is referred to the committees on finance and information and justice for further legislative action. The seventh order of the day is a motion on the need to investigate the delay in the construction of the Share Pategi Road in Kwara State, standing in the name of Honorable Ahmed Adamu Shaba. Honorable Shaba is thereby invited to move the motion.
Mr. Speaker, the respected colleagues, my name is Honorable Dr. Ahmed Adamu Shaba. Mr. Speaker, I speak for people of Edu, Moro, and the Patigi local government area of Kwara State. Mr. Speaker of Kwara State. I rise this afternoon to move a motion on the need to investigate delay in the construction of the Share Patigi Road in Kwara State. The House noted that the project for the construction of Share Patigi Road in Kwara State was captured in the Appropriation Act 2017 and awarded to Mesa Droma Intem Company Limited in October 9, 2017. Mr. Speaker, the House also noted that Share Patigi Road construction commenced from T Junction along the Old Jeba Road, traversing through Share Tam, Saragi, Gidansani, Wadata Village, Zambufu Village, Bugu, and terminate at Patigi Town. Mr. Speaker, the House is also aware that the road, which is about 100 kilometers long, consists of asphalt concrete portions and surface depression portions is severely damaged, with the potholes, crack, and failed shoulders, washouts, and the large gutters. The House is also aware that the poor condition of the road exposes the road users and the motorists to the accident, loss of time, and the increase in the cost of vehicle maintenance. Mr. Speaker, sir, the House is further aware that the road serves as a major means of transporting agricultural produce and the commercial activities. If complete, it will bring wood social and economic activities, boost intrastate trade, enhance the evacuation of farm products from the farms, and reduce costs of the vehicle maintenance. Mr. Speaker, they are also worried that after award of the contract to Droma Intake Company Limited in 2017, there has been under inspectional low budget release from the Ministry of Finance to complete the project. They are also worried that out of 10 billion 298 383
Mala Osman Kumu, you are most welcome.
383.20 included VAT allocated for the project, the sum of 2,976,100,000 naira and 47,400 and 477 naira was authorized for the release. Only 1,544,893 naira has been released to date. Mr. Speaker, the House disturbed that due to the poor yearly budgetary provision in the contract, as well as the site engineers have vacated the site as the range for the accommodation has expired. Mr. Speaker, the House also acknowledged that through the project has been listed, though the project has been listed to be funded by Sukuk intervention in the process, rather slow, and the death row on the road is on the increase. Mr. Speaker, the House will resolve that
Honorable Jafaru, Honorable Jaha,
mandate the Committee
Honorable
of Works
Sada, please,
to liaise with the
let's pay
Federal
attention
Ministry
to
of
this
Works
motion, please.
to ensure the speedy completion of the road and the report back within 4 weeks for the further legislative actions. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Ezra Honorable, second the motion from your colleague from your state.
Honorable Speaker, my distinguished colleagues, my name is Ahmed Nikaliku, PhD. I rise this morning to second the motion moved by Honorable Shaba. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Works for further legislative action. The day is a motion on the need to investigate non-compliance to health and safety standards and regulations by various public and private institutions as enshrined in Employees Compensation Act 2010, standing in the name of Honorable Ahmed Jaha Babao. Honorable Babao is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Ahmed Jaha Babao is my name. I represent Chibok, Dambua, and Goza Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move a motion on the need to investigate non-compliance to health and safety standards and regulations by various public and private institutions as enshrined in Employees Compensation Act 2010. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the House noted that the Employees Compensation Act 2010 was enacted with provisions which includes ensuring the safety, health, and welfare of workers in Nigeria by preventing workplace accidents, injuries, and fatalities, and enforcing compliance with safety and health standards and regulations in the both public and private entities. Aware that between July 2011 and June 2023, about 99,678 workplace hazard claims were received by the Trust Fund in 2023, along from January to June, a total of 8,959 claims under the various contingencies of medical expenses refund, loss of productivity, death benefits, disability benefits, such as provision of artificial body to over 100 disabled workers, and medical treatment were also received by the trust fund. Recall that on Thursday, February 8, 2024, at the formal launch of the committee's strategic plan for the 10th Assembly, Committee on Safety Standards and Regulations, the Honorable Speaker's inaugural speech specifically raised concern over disregard and non-compliance to safety standards and regulations by some public and private institutions in the country. Observe the noticeable increase in the rate of work-related hazards and lack of compensation to victims as a result of non-compliance to safety standards and regulations by public and private entities. They stopped that with non-adherence to health and safety standards and regulations, which is crucial for preventing workplace accidents, injuries, and fatalities, as well as promoting a conducive work environment for all employees across various sectors of the economy. The rights of citizens to a safe and decent place of work devoid of hazard seems not guaranteed in our country. Resolve that the House mandate the House Committee on Safety Standards and Regulations to investigate non-compliance to safety standards and regulations by public and private institutions as enshrined in the Employee Compensation Act 2010 and report back to the House within 4 weeks for legislative action. I so move. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable. Go ahead, please.
Mr. Speaker, dear colleagues, my name is Honorable Kalejaya Deboye Paul. I represent the good people of Ajeromi Felodun Federal Constituency, the mini Nigeria. I'm from Lagos State, the state of aquatic splendor. I rise this morning to support that motion, ably moved by Honorable Jaha. I so second. Thank you, sir.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Safety Standards and Regulations for further legislative actions. Honorable colleagues, the ninth order of the day is a motion on the need to investigate the recent frequent collapse of the national grid, standing in the name of Honorable Bill Osauru. Honorable Osauru is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My very understanding colleagues, I remain Honorable Chief Dr. Billy Famous Adesuwa Osawaru, representing the good people of Oriomo Nwode Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm a proud Benin chief from Edo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move a motion on the need to investigate the recent frequent collapse of the national grid. The House notes that sustainable energy is essential to any modern economy, and Nigeria is no exception. A stable electricity supply ensures that industries remain viable.
Order, please.
Power homes and facilitate significant economic growth and industrial progress. He has commended the plan of the federal government to increase power capacity to 20,000 megawatts from 12,522 megawatts projected within the next 3 years, and the Electricity Act 2023 is aimed at addressing the persistent challenges in the power sector, harnessing new opportunities, as well as propel Nigeria towards a future of reliable, affordable, and sustainable electricity supply. Mr. Speaker, the House is aware that the Transmission Company of Nigeria, otherwise known as TCN, in August 2023, stated that the Nigerian power grid recorded an unparalleled period of stability in the history of the power sector by operating without major disruptions or system collapse for over 400 consecutive days, a milestone that indicates an advancement in the nation's efforts at strengthening its power infrastructure, ensuring a reliable and dependable electricity supply to distribution load centers for onward distribution to electricity customers nationwide. Mr. Speaker, the House is worried that in a space of 1 week, in the month of August 2023, Nigeria recorded 3 national grid collapses. I repeat, Mr. Speaker, in the space of 1 week, in the month of August 2023, Nigeria recorded 3 national grid collapses. The national grid collapsed twice within 6 hours. And on the 19th of August 2023, another system collapse was recorded. Mr. Speaker, the House is also worried that frequent grid collapses this year have negatively impacted the economy, reducing industrial output and raising manufacturing expenses. Firms are forced to invest in alternate power sources, thus raising operational costs and leaving end users with exorbitant prices, which citizens cannot afford, especially with the subsidy removal effect. Mr. Speaker, the House recalls that the nation is currently facing its worst form of insecurity, including insurgency, banditry, kidnapping, and other violent crimes. The collapse of the national grid will embolden criminal activities and security facilities such as the Vigiscope app, the Police Situation Room app. All police command control rooms can be compromised during the dark hours. Tracking devices that need power to reach telephone lines can be hampered. Mr. Speaker, cognizant of this, that if the frequent national grid collapses are thoroughly investigated and solutions profiled, it will end the continuous system collapse, boost the economy, and reduce the suffering of citizens. The House resolves, Mr. Speaker, to mandate the Committee on Power to liaise with critical stakeholders in the power sectors to urgently investigate and profile solutions to the embarrassing development and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Mr. Speaker, I so moved.
Kabesi, you and Honorable Tajuddin, Honorable Billy is greeting you. Any seconder? The Chair, Internal National Security, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Engineer Satomi Ahmed. I represent Nigeria starting from Jere Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by His Eminence Prince Billy Osawara. I so second, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Power for further legislative action. The 10th order of the day is a motion on the need to review the digitalization program in the Nigerian broadcasting industry, standing in the name of Honorable Taufik Abimbola Ajilisoro. Honorable Taufik is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, His Excellency, Mr. Speaker, my leaders, and fellow colleagues. My name is Honorable Taufik Abimbola Ajilisoro, a member representing Ife, Federal Constituency in Osun State. Mr. Speaker, I'm from the source, the cradle of the entire Yoruba race. I stand to move the motion on the need to review the digitalization program in the Nigeria broadcasting industry. Mr. Speaker, the House notes that Nigeria embarked on the journey towards digital terrestrial television (DTT) broadcasting on June 17, 2006, following the deadline of June 15, 2015, set by the International Telecommunication Union for member countries to transition from analog to digital broadcasting.
Sardona Rano, you are most welcome to the chamber.
The House also notes that the late President Musa Yar'Adua directed the National Broadcasting Commission to effect the transition. However, at a stakeholders meeting held on June 3, 2008, the Nigerian broadcasting industry leaders agreed to reschedule the initial international deadline. The House also further notes that the plan of the administration of the former President Muhammad Buhari, as championed by the former Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, and the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, was to complete the process by December 2022. However, the program was launched in 8 states, namely Lagos, Kano, Plateau, Kwara, Osun, my states, Kaduna, Enugu, and Rivers, and FCT, out of the 36 states of the Federation. They are also aware that the transition from analog to digital is aimed at creating a more equitable, just, and people-centered information society that will connect undeserved population and remote communities. They are also aware that the digital switch over DSO project upon completion will translate to increased digital television penetration, improved quality television services, adherence preference rating, crystal clear sound and visual sound, in addition to other value-added services. The House is concerned that despite other African nations, such as Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, Gabon, Namibia, Botswana, Zambia, Rwanda, Kenya, etc., having finished the transitional process, the digital switchover program in Nigeria broadcasting industry has stagnated or slowed down, in spite of being almost 10 years in the process. Nigeria, with the biggest economy, still lacks strong foundation for this shift. Also concerned that the platform for pay TV program are dominated by foreigners, like DSTV, owned by MultiChoice, a South African company, and the Star Times, which is 70% owned by Chinese, and 30% by Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. The House will acknowledge that there was an agreement reached with Star Times for the utilization of their facilities spread across the country to fast-track the implementation of the process. The House worried that Nigeria has repeatedly missed the deadline of switching to digital broadcasting due to a variety of issues, such as the enormous financial outlays needed to build necessary infrastructure to guarantee that the digital television set won't be interrupted by thunderstorm or heavy rain, a term used to euphemistically describe bad weather that disturbs the quality of the shows. The House now resolved to mandate the Committee on Digital and Information Technology to liaise with the Ministry of Information and National Orientation, the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, Nigeria Television Authority, NTA, Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Council, PCCPC, to investigate the agreement between the government and Star Times to fast-track the complete digitalization of the Nigerian broadcasting industry and report back to the House within 4 weeks for further legislative action. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Kabesi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable the Prince Akim Adeyemi. I represent Afikyo Atiba, Oyo East, Oyo West. I'm from the Center of Yoruba Culture and Tradition. I want to second the motion, ably moved by Honorable Taufik Ajilesoro, who came from the source.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the committee. I've already hit the gavel. The motion is referred to the Committee on Digital and Information Technology. Anyone who wants to contribute to this, please, you can participate in the committee's deliberation. There you can be able to at least effect whatever correction or amendment you intend to? Thank you. The 11th order of the day is a motion on the need to equip Kakao, Birnin Yero, and Churomawa Road emergency clinics along Abuja, Kaduna, Zaria, Kano Federal Road, standing in the name of Honorable Chiroma Mohammed Garba. Honorable Garba is hereby invited to move the motion. Is Honorable Chiroma around?
I'm afraid Mr. Speaker is not on the floor. I move that he be stepped down, Mr. Speaker.
Motion is hereby stepped down by the leave of the House. The 12th order of the day is a motion on the need to access and fix abandoned federal government projects across the country, standing in the name of Honorable Joseph Adebesan. Honorable Joseph is hereby invited to move the motion. Honorable Joseph.
The respected colleagues, I remain Honorable Engineer Joseph Folorunsho Adigbeson, representing the Ijebu North, Ijebu East, Waterside Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Ogun State. I rise this morning to move a mission on the need to assess and fix abandoned federal government projects across the country. Mr. Speaker, the House knows that the abandonment of projects in Nigeria is disappointing and worrisome, negatively impacting infrastructure provisions and development. The House also knows that statistics have shown that over 60,000 projects are abandoned in Nigeria, thereby obstructing citizens from utilizing their tax proceeds and natural resources, with total value of these projects reaching trillions of naira. The House is also disturbed that these projects were initiated and designed to improve the standard of living of Nigerians through electrification, power improvement, provision of potable water, continuing education, healthcare facilities, construction of roads and bridges. The House also disturbed that successful administration have ignored these projects in the premises that it was not initiated by their government or not within their policy direction, disregarding their importance to Nigerians and taxpayers' money spent.
Honorable Manusoro, I can see a disturbing Honorable Batera, who has been trying to be keenly interested in this motion. Please refrain yourself. He's very, very serious about this motion, so please don't distract him again. Thank you.
The House resolves to mandate the Committee on Works to review all the abandoned federal government projects across the country to include scope of works, commencement days, contract values, amount spent, and stage of works through ministries, departments, and agencies with workable plans to effectively complete the projects and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Mr. Speaker, I so moved.
Amendment? Yes, Honorable Chair, go ahead. Are you amending or you are seconding?
Amendment.
Okay, go ahead.
The greatest speaker of the Federation, my name is Honorable Obi Agocha, representing the great people of Ikuano, Umahe North, and Umahe South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, while commending the mover of the motion, I wish to change the word in the prayer, mandate the Committee on Works to review. I think we should make it stronger, since it's talking about the abandonment of projects all over the country, Nigeria being unable to meet up its budgetary requirements. I think the word should be audit, to expunge the word review, and to put audit, which is mandatory. I so submit, sir.
Any seconder to this alteration, to this amendment? From review to audit. Anyone who wishes to second? Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Yusuf Kure Baraji, member representing Boso for Ekoro Federal Constituency of Niger State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to second the motion ably moved by my colleague, and I so second. Thank you.
Aye. Honorable, do you want to retract your amendments? Eh? Those against should say nay. The nays have it. Any more amendments?
Amendments.
Yes, Tuleja.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, Adamu Tanko is my name, and I'm speaking for the people of Suleja, Gurara, and Tafa Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Niger State. My amendments, Mr. Speaker, has to do with the committee. The motion is talking about all federal government abandoned projects, not necessarily or restricted to works, including power and across all infrastructural streams in the country. So I deem that the Committee on Public Assets or Intergovernmental Affairs should be added as part of the committees. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
You had the amendment proposed. That's to add committees on intergovernmental and which other one? Public assets. So any seconder to this amendment? Yes, Honorable. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Afolabia Fwakbe. I represent the good people of Abeokuta South Federal Constituency. I rise this afternoon to support the motion ably moved that Committee on Public Assets and Intergovernmental Affairs should be added to this motion. Thank you, Mr. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this amendment should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Any more amendments? Honorable Isiaka.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Ibrahim Ayokunle Isiaka, for Ewegoro Federal Constituency.
Order, please. Order.
Distinguished honorable colleagues, Mr. Speaker,
Honorable David, Honorable Jaha, please pay attention.
Honorable Jaha. Mr. Speaker, my appeal to my distinguished honorable colleagues about this motion is about the relevance and importance attached to it, that in this House, Mr. Speaker, we have all classes of professionals who are colleagues and members. I want to appeal if this House can make me amend, because if we just say committee this, committee that, FEMA will be involved, power will be involved. In fact, nearly all the committees dealing with infrastructure in the House supposed to deal with this motion. I rather amend, Mr. Speaker, that in your wisdom and that of the leadership, to set up eminent personalities among members of this honorable chamber to constitute a special committee to carry out the audit, and then come back to recommend to the House what should be done about this project. Because the motion looks small, but we are talking about the entire nation, which public asset, public account, works, power, housing, water, nearly all the governments. So a special committee could deal with this. I hereby move that the House that the House do set up a special committee to carry out a comprehensive audit of all abandoned projects in the country and report back to the House for further legislative action. I so amend, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Information concerning this particular amendment? Okay, so it's a point of order, right?
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead then.
Mr. Speaker, it's like we are jettisoning a substantial part of the prayer as forwarded by the mover of the motion. Let us read it so that you will understand the essence of having this committee on works and other committees added by the House to do the job. Let me read it. Mandate the Committee on Works to review all abundant federal government projects across the country to include scope of work, commencement date, contract value, amount spent, and stage of work through MDS, ministries, departments, and agencies, with work plan for effective complete the project and report back to the House. What he is trying to say here is the committee, the committee will be charged with the responsibility of visiting each and every MDA all over the country to identify abundant projects and know their value and review them accordingly. But if you said an ad hoc committee should do that, while we have a committee of works on works that are the custodian of public assets, I don't think there will be enough information for them to have that. So this is my information.
Well, thank you for your observation. The beauty about democracy is people have the right to choose where they think is best for them. So you have heard what Honorable Jah has just raised. So we look at it vis-a-vis what Honorable Isiaka has just mentioned. Is proposing an ad hoc committee which will comprise of all the infrastructure-related committees to be members, whereas Honorable Jaha is appealing that we should leave it as it is, just works and public assets and one other committee. So I look for seconder to the adjustment, to the amendment that Honorable Isiaka just proposed. Any seconder to that, Honorable Zubairu Bashir?
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, my names are Right Honorable Bashir Zubairu Usman, member representing Benungwari Giwa Federal Constituency of Kaduna State. Mr. Speaker, I beg to second.
Those in support of this amendment should say aye.
Aye.
Those against should say nay. The ayes have it.
Amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Further amendments?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable colleagues, I still remain Lawan Shatima Ali, representing Bursari Gaidami Nusari Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, sir, going by the motion, this is very vast, I believe, though no time frame has been given, not for the work of the committee, but which administration, or is it inception of 1999 democracy, or including military regimes and everywhere in Nigeria? You know, this is very essential when you say abandoned projects across the country. This entails the timing. So in this regard, Mr. Speaker, considering the 4 weeks given, I suggest that whether it is derived, those committees should be derived from works or any other
can you recommend the time frame if it has not been said?
Let me come, sir. We need ad hoc committee for the whole 6 geopolitical zones to facilitate the timing. We need 6 ad hoc committees for each zone. There should be committee, because the number of abandoned projects across this country, if you are taking stock of those projects, in fact, it will take them for a year to undertake this type of assignment, sir. So I'm suggesting
Honorable Chedima.
Yes, sir.
Well, I remain an unfair.
Yes, sir.
I'm not supposed to say my opinion.
Yes, sir.
But you should be mindful that another committee, if it is well constituted, can also dissolve into subcommittees to do whatever. So for us to set up 6 ad hoc committees for the same, we'll have problem of even collation and
so whatever process they will follow,
compilation of all the reports.
Let it be within the committee, doesn't matter. But what I'm suggesting is that the scope of the work should be mentioned. From which administration to which administration. That time is very important. I so move, sir.
So what are you, because you are making an amendment, are
Yes,
you
sir.
going to suggest to us
So
the time
I'm
frame?
suggesting let it be from 1992 to 8.
Pardon?
One house, please.
From when to when?
Yes. 1999 to date. This scope should be given.
Any seconder to this amendment? Honorable
Order,
Zakaria.
please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, I remain Tijani Zanna Zakaria. I represent the entire people of Nguru, Machina, Yusbari, and Karaswa Federal Constituency. I'm from Yobe State. I rise to second the motion as moved by Honorable Shetima Laanga. Thank you.
Those in support of this amendment should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. Those in support of this motion as amended should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. This motion is referred to an ad hoc committee whose
Point of
membership
order.
will be constituted in due course.
Point
Thank
of
you.
order.
The 13th order of the day is a motion on the need to rehabilitate Iguruta, Port Harcourt International Airport, Omaga, Isiopo, Elele, Omerelu Roads, in River State, standing in the names of Honorable Blessing, Chigeru Amadi, and one other honorable member. Honorable Blessing is hereby invited to move the motion.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker, sir, my honorable colleagues. I am Blessing Chigeru Amadi, representing the good people of Port Harcourt Federal Constituency 2, an Ikwere woman from River State. I hereby rise to move a motion on the need to rehabilitate Igruta, Port Harcourt International Airport, Omagwa, Ishopo, Elele, and Domaredu Roads in River State. The House knows that the importance
Honorable
of...
Zaidu.
The House notes that the importance of good roads towards the economic growth, regional development, and interconnectivity between local government areas, the state, and the neighboring states. Also notes that a good road infrastructure is crucial for promoting agriculture, commercial activities, reducing road accidents, preserving motor vehicles, and ensuring security. Aware that the rehabilitation of the federal road spanning through Igruta, Port Harcourt International Airport, Omagwa, Ishopo, Elele, and Omarelu, the border town between River State and Imo State, is the core mandate of the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA. Also aware that Section 7 of the FEMA Act mandates the Federal Road Maintenance Agency to ensure efficient maintenance and rehabilitation of all roads in Nigeria, of federal roads. Worried that the lack of rehabilitation and maintenance of the failed portions of the road is causing high rates